Hi there. So I said we'd do a short study on Luke 18, verses 16 and 17. And let's read those real quick. I'm reading from the New Living Translation. Okay. Adults had tried to bring their children to Jesus to get blessed. And his disciples don't bother him with that trivial stuff. Verse 6, he said, however, Jesus invited them, let the children come to me and do not stop them, because the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Okay? It goes on into 17, is, I tell you the truth, anyone who doesn't receive the kingdom of God like a child will never enter it. Those are harsh words. Okay? As we go into this a little bit, about being like a child, I'll start with a story. When I was very young, I had a brother very close in age to me. And when we were raised in Southern California, so about once a year, once a year, my aunt, who had no children, would take me and my brother to Disneyland. Okay? And we couldn't wait. The anticipation of it was amazing. The drive was amazing. Getting there was incredible. And you walked in and you had no expectations. You weren't expecting money or power or fame or, a place at the right hand of Mickey Mouse. I'm going to be best. You went for the sheer joy of just being there. Okay? And I just loved when I was a child. I loved the feeling of just being in a place so fantastic. I never thought, I want to own that, I want to own that, I want to own that. You just like being there. But just the sheer joy of being in a place like that and spending all day. I remember more than anything else, I just liked the feeling, the atmosphere of being there. Like a child. You don't go in with expectations. When children come to the Lord, they're not coming, I want money and power and fame. It's not like Santa Claus. They just want to experience joy. There's no expectations. They have a sense of awe, a sense of wonder. That's what it takes to get into heaven, okay? It should be something, 100,000 times better than Disneyland. Okay, if you've ever been to a place like that and just experienced the joy of being there and the beauty of everything around you. Okay. I'm looking at a Bible ref site over here, and he says some interesting stuff about it. Okay. Although adults bring children to Jesus, he suggests a mutual acceptance between the children and himself. The children come, and he accepts them. In return, they receive and enter the kingdom of God. Jesus' acceptance is the manifestation of God's kingdom in the moment. They have entered a holy place in the moment. Okay? Children live in the moment. They live in the second. They're thinking about right now. They're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about yesterday. They're thinking about right now. The joy I feel right now. That's what it takes. That kind of joy. Jesus said all over the Bible, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the food you're going to eat. Don't worry about yesterday. Worrying about all these things cannot add 1 second to your life. So don't. He talks a lot of places about being like a child. And being like a child, you're in the right now. You have a sense of awe and wonder about everything. Okay? I loved when my children were very young because they had such a awe and wonder, and they were such a joy to be around. Can you be like that? Can you go in? The reason he said it's hard for a rich man to enter heaven is because they've got money and they have wealth, and they have fame, and they have position, and they have respect. You can't go into heaven expecting all those things, okay? You have to go in like a child, not expecting anything but the joy of just being there. Hmm? You can't take it with you. You can't take the fame. You can't take the respect. You can't take the honor. Jesus said people that have those things will be humbled. The humble will be exalted, and the exalted will be humbled. Okay? So if you got a high place here on earth, don't expect a high place in heaven. If you make it to heaven like a child, just be glad you're there. Don't expect anything. Expect Jesus. Expect the joy of just being there. Being young at heart, like a child. What else does it say over here? Some scholars believe that Jesus' words affirm the practice of infant baptism. That's not what he's teaching here, okay? Jesus is saying that children receive the kingdom of God with no expectation that power, good works, money, or reputation is required, okay? Right. They just walk in, and God welcomes them. Elsewhere, Jesus points out that to become like a child is a choice. Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. That's Matthew 18, 3 and 4. Next, Luke describes someone who finds the idea difficult. This man is important, rich, and godly. It appears that God has rewarded his obedience with earthly treasures. He expects to enjoy heavenly rewards as well. But he does not enter like a child. He wishes to keep his place in the world. Ironically, the disciples are more like the children than they know. Right. They left everything to follow Jesus. Be like a child. If you can't have that sense of awe and wonder with no expectation other than to be awed and wondered and be in joy, Jesus says you can't get in. Think about that. He says you have to give up to and including your very life. And those who lose their life will save it. Those who try to save their life will lose it. Same thing as he's saying here about getting into heaven. You have to be like a child. Let's try and get back to wonder and the awe that we experience as children. Bring that into your life without expecting riches, honor, glory, power. I'm going to sit at the right hand of God. Honestly, I have always thought I just want to be there. I've often said to myself, I would rather be a street sweeper in heaven than to not get in. Okay, houses, riches don't matter. I would like to just sit under a tree and just bask in the glory of being there. Think about that. Be like a child. More later.